And so then when I went viral for that apartment, I was like, oh my God, how do I get this apartment?
Hey, so that's actually not true at all. I've tried a couple times to comment what actually happened on this post, but for some reason, none of those comments are posting. But it's things like this that get clipped and taken out of context that cause people to think of creators in a way that just isn't true. And as a creator who has been like super open about their backstory, I really want to always clear the air whenever there's like misinformation floating about. And I think that's why a lot of creators are scared to go on podcasts, because people will clip it, steal it, spin it, and then make up a complete and total lie that almost makes you look bad for no reason at all, other than maybe money and views. Number one, I have never gotten a loan from my parents ever for anything at all. Nor are my parents in a financial place to give me a loan, let alone a loan of that size. In this clip, I'm talking about using my savings, no one else's, to pay for 1 year of my apartment after I went viral for having the apartment. This is an apartment that I used to share with my ex-husband. My ex-husband had money, I did not. Therefore, his name was on the lease, and he continued to put his name on the lease for the 1 year that I signed it, basically off what I had in my savings. The money in my savings that I'm talking about, I made while modeling and doing other various jobs back when I was married to my ex-husband, and it was the only money that I had saved up, so it was the only money that I could use on the lease for 1 more year. But of course, I didn't have like 20 times the rent. I barely had enough to pay the rent. So my ex-husband was kind enough to keep his name on a lease that already had his name on it. When I mentioned my mom, I'm talking about the phone calls I had with my mom to budget everything out in my life for that 1 year. Because if I were to use my entire savings on releasing this apartment for 1 year, it meant that I needed to not spend on food as much. I needed to not spend on like anything else. So I had many calls with my mom to budget out that year, and just to ask her if I was doing the right thing, if I was making the right decision, because it felt really, really scary at the time. And part of her thought that I was not making the right decision, because this is a world that you never really know what's going to happen, and you never really know if your content is going to go anywhere or do anything. But I didn't want to let go of that like momentum that I had from the apartment tour by like moving out of this apartment 2 weeks later. So yeah, I did. I risked my entire life savings on a pipe dream that I had to be a content creator based off of the engagement that I had on an apartment tour that was filmed in an apartment I was supposed to move out of 2 weeks later. An apartment that I could not afford unless I tapped into my savings and used it all to release it. There was no loan from my parents. There was no money from my parents. The only thing my parents were able to give me was really good advice. And my mom eventually told me to bet on myself, and I did. But thank God, I was able to afford the apartment within the first month off of the ad revenue that I was making on my YouTube channel alone. So if there's any lesson to be learned here, it's bet on yourself. And also, don't trust everything you see on the internet, because people love to lie. And I love you guys.